You've noticed an elderly relative who lives alone talking to themselves more than usual. You assumed it was loneliness. You assumed it was age. It might be neither. It might be their hearing. And what happens to a brain that stops receiving enough human voice input to stay sharp? Here's what's actually happening. The human brain requires consistent auditory stimulation, particularly human speech, to maintain the neural pathways responsible for language processing and cognitive function. When hearing loss reduces incoming speech signals, the brain begins compensating by generating its own internal language activity. Self talk, muttering, and vocalizing thoughts out loud are documented neurological responses to auditory deprivation. The brain keeping its language centers active in the absence of enough external input to sustain them. The person talking to themselves isn't losing their mind. Their mind is doing everything it can to survive the silence their hearing loss created. Auditory deprivation from untreated hearing loss is now one of the most significant modifiable risk factors for dementia identified in global medical research. The brain that stops receiving adequate speech input begins atrophying in language and memory centers within months, not years. The talking to themselves was the last visible sign of a process that had been running silently for far longer than anyone noticed. If someone you love is showing these signs, Zenaud's hearing assessment is the first step toward protecting what's still protectable. Link is right below. Act this week, not next month.